Freedom or safety? What would you choose? This is the narrative that we've been sold since March, that we have to give up our freedoms for safety. Went to a talk last night with a constitutional lawyer, and yeah, his message was what is going on right now is absolutely unprecedented, unbelievable, and not nearly enough people are awake to what's going on. We are losing our freedoms. We have lost a lot of freedoms right in this moment. And I feel that question of freedom or safety, as it's being told to us, that's going to become even more important for you and I to answer for ourselves. We live in Canada, US, Australia, England, wherever you are in the world. I'm going to guess you're like myself, where my kids, myself, my generation, my parents, we have not had to think about freedom. Kind of taken it for granted, right? My grandparents, they were a part of the World War II. Generation before, in almost every other generation, they did not take it for granted. I was listening to another interview with Rocco Galati. It was Ted Kuntz and Sasha Stone. Really incredible, powerful, by the way. If you want to link to that, just let me know. I'll send it to you. Quite revealing and a very kind of Canadian-centric conversation. And they reminded us in that conversation, me, that exactly what I'm saying about, the generations that we've taken freedom for granted, and that we cannot, we should not. Freedom is not free. It has to be earned. Politicians, governments need to be kept in check. And this is the message of the guy last night as well. Parliament suspended, right? Why are they not meeting? I mean, Trudeau's certainly spending huge amounts of money, your money. Why? You can't even call it money. That's another topic aside. It's currency. It's debt that us and future generations are indebted to, right? And who's the debt to? And what happens when we can't pay? Those are all questions to consider. The one right now, freedom over safety. I really think that there is a high chance of what's going on in Australia, the extremeness, is going to be coming to Canada, and very soon. There's definitely a globalist agenda that this whole corona thing is a front, a cover for, and people are going along choosing safety, right, over their freedoms. And we are about to lose more and more if we don't stand up, speak up, ask questions, and keep these politicians in check. Why is the judiciary system shut down? Courts closed. You have to make a very special request and emphasize that it is essentially urgent that a case go to court. Otherwise, nothing's happening. Canada was not issuing passports for several months. They've started to, slowly, again. Canada continues to limit international travel. And when we ask these questions of authorities, politicians, it can't just be, COVID or safety, right? So Canadian Charter Rights and Freedoms, as I was learning last night, we have inherent freedoms, freedom of expression, freedom to assemble, freedom of thought, all these things. And they can only be taken away in extreme, lawful, and justifiable circumstances. So when all this went down in March, I think everyone got on board. It was okay. 15 days to flatten the curve, right? We can do that. We understand that. But now, here we are so many months later, and where are we at? Where's the justification for what we're doing, right? Kids, school. He gave an example of in northern Saskatchewan, right? 0 cases this whole time for kids. And even in Canada, 1 death of under 19, whatever the statistics are. Yet, every single child has had their life turned upside down, right? With all these measures and protocols, hand sanitizing, masking, getting sent home in case of what's going on here in Calgary and other places. Where's the justification for that? So I'm feeling a greater sense of urgency every single day. The deeper I get into this, the more I talk to people, the more I listen to interviews, the more I understand what's going on. I keep saying it because I know a lot of you felt it, was when all this started, something was not right, right? You knew it instantly. And it's taken some time to kind of sort through a lot of ideas and theories, and it still doesn't feel right. And the more this picture comes together, the more that I talk to very intelligent people that are involved in different worlds, different systems, like the judiciary system, to lawyers, and they are confirming this. What is going on is should be alarming. It is alarming. And yet, I know most people are not doing anything. And he gave a great analogy, actually. So in a lot of emergencies, disasters, this kinds of thing, I said there are 3 types of people. So let's say plane crash, bus crash, whatever, right? Natural disaster. You have 10% that just absolutely freeze. Just petrified, you can't even hello, frozen. You have 10% into action, right? They're the organizers. Okay, you do this, you get here, let's do this. They start developing those action plans and helping moving everyone forward. And the other 80% just don't really do anything. They're not paralyzed in that fear, but they're it's more of they're just stunned, right? Just can't believe it. Don't know what to do. So if you're listening, I'm assuming you're in that 10% of action. And it's okay if you're in that 80% of stunned, I don't know what to do. But start getting grounded, start really looking at what's going on, checking in with yourself, and ask your question, that question, what is more important at the end of the day, freedom or safety? If we look at history and all the great heroes that we admire, Gandhi, Martin Luther King, William Wallace, right? The Braveheart idea. What did he chant? Freedom. People lost their lives. Forget safety, forget health. People lost their lives. They gladly died for the idea, the name of freedom. It is that important. So that's my question to you, my call to action, for you to really deeply reflect on that as we move into this fall, as what's very likely to happen, more and more extreme restrictions begin to come into play, what's more important? Your safety, your health, or your freedom? Let me know what you think.